I am in fact also being joined by Mahesh Tapase, spokesperson of the NCP. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast on Mirror Now. Now, a number of your government leaders are facing investigation by central agencies. First, Anil Deshmukh, Nawab Malik, and now we're looking at Sanjay Raut. How do you see this?
Apeksha and all your viewers, thank you for having me on your show. Like we said, we have been saying this since the time our government has come into power, that BJP is doing vindictive politics. Now let's look at the case of Sanjay Raut ji himself. A few days back, he made an allegation that certain BJP members had come to him. They wanted to solicit the support of Shiv Sena to form a BJP government back in Maharashtra. And if this support was not given, he was threatened with dire consequences. This Mr. Sanjay Raut has said today in Delhi, I guess. And the case that is being pertained to what just Sandeep said some time ago, this case is 2009. Well, BJP has been in power from 2014 onwards to 2019 and on to 2022. Why is it that the BJP didn't want to take up these cases when they were in power in Maharashtra along with the Shiv Sena in 2014? So here Sanjay Raut ji has categorically said that it was a loan which was taken in the name of his wife and which has now been returned. So it's a matter of 55 lakhs which was taken as a loan to procure something. I do not know what it was, but it has been returned. Like this is the last, when last time all these things came ahead of us, it was said by him that this loan has been returned now. So what is it that the ED is trying to find out? Now I would want to ask the central government agencies. Time and again, leaders of the MBA have been targeted. It's fine, okay. There have been political masters who would be wanting to give this kind of a direction, but what is the outcome? What has happened in Sushant Singh Rajput's case? What is the outcome in Anil Deshmukh's case? We have made an allegation of 100 crore, vasuli, like Mr. Parambir Singh had said, but nothing is on paper. An allegation is an allegation. There is no trail of money. Initially, you said 410 crores, then the figure is trickled down to 1.30 crore. Same case with Nawab Malik. The case pertains to the time when PMLA Act was not in place by itself, and everybody has been saying that the dealing has been very fair and square. But now to make a entail of this thing is what the BJP is trying to do. And hence, leaders of the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, particularly the NCP and the Shiv Sena are targeted because we have been very vocal. We have been very vocal critics of the BJP policies as far as their ways and means to destabilize the MBA government in Maharashtra.
So now what happens with Sanjay Raut is of course a matter of investigation, but do you think that this is a mere coincidence that the ED decides to, in a way target Sanjay Raut on the same day when Maharashtra government has set up an SIT to probe the, the ED officials?
Well, this is again for the viewers and for the electorate of Maharashtra to read between the lines. I think just yesterday or day before, Sanjay Raut ji had made a very critical allegations against certain functioning of the ED, and he had named one gentleman in between. And today the Maharashtra Home Minister had ordered an SIT probe against this kind of unfair dealing, which is happening at the behest of some officials of the ED. This is the complaint which Mr. Sanjay Raut had made. And today, when this SIT is now been formed to probe these kind of allegations, today the ET attaches the property, the living house of Mr. Raut in Dadar, Mumbai. When this kind of action happens, so I think people are definitely reading in between lines. Is this an attempt to silence Sanjay Raut and others? Is this an attempt to suppress the voice of leaders of MVA? Is this an attempt to destabilize the government of Maharashtra? And are central agencies being used to do this? This is the question which is arising in the minds of the electorate and the citizens of Maharashtra and the country at large.
Mr. Tapase, this is Ketan Vaidya from Mirror Now. I have a question that leader after leader, action after action, it seems that the central agencies are inching closer. First, it was Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, then it was Nawab Malik, then it was the kin of the CM himself, and today properties of associates and family members of Sanjay Raut are attached. There is this not allegation, but it's felt that the MVA government is proving weak when it comes to giving a befitting reply of sorts to this. So you complain of ED actions, but when it comes to giving a befitting reply, it seems that MVA government is not on the same page. So how do you address this allegation?
Well, Ketanji, I would like to tell you that we are not a vindictive government. The people of Maharashtra, the MVA, the Shiv Sena, the Congress and the NCP have come together to give an alternative to the past government, and hence we have seen the election campaign of Mr. Pawar, the senior Mr. Pawar, and how the youths of Maharashtra have supported him, and that's how we could improve our tally. But so to give a befitting reply in terms of tit for tat and in terms of making false allegation is definitely not on our agenda. But if something is genuinely wrong and if there is a credible evidence to prove that some BJP leader, MP, MLA is linked to some kind of a wrong thing, then definitely police will take its own action. But our party, our Mahavikas Aghadi is not a vindictive government to go out and probe things which are not there and unnecessary burden our security forces and investigative agencies with something which is absolutely false. So here we are coming out with a very clear conscience. We are talking to the people our citizens in the state of Maharashtra. And then they also know that Uddhav Thackeray as a chief minister, as a human being, is the one person with very clear consciousness. So I don't think he will do anything wrong just to tarnish or just to settle some political scores with his opponent. But yes, we will settle our political scores, but that will be on the field where democracy is the main instrument to settle our scores, and by way of election or by way of showing our majority, whether it's in the local self-government election or the state government of Maharashtra.
Thank you.
All right. That was Mahesh Tapase of the NCP. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Ketan as well. Both of you, thank you so much for joining us.